Ain't no last calls here.
Bar Talk with Jay.
All right, welcome to Bar Talk with Jay.
Welcome.
One thing's going to brought to you by is Disposed. This is a government doing great things. One of the things I want you to do is go to the website. You'll be able to see a lot of stuff without having to call anybody. Now, since I always say you don't have to call anybody, somebody asked me one time, what's the number? So if you really want to call Disposed, LLC, yes, you can. 770-462-8984. You can tell I don't call it that often, but I want you to call today. Disposed.
Yes.
Now, I got to get back to the person who's been rocking with me for over 4 years, going on 5. This man right here comes in the building with a smile all the time. Craftmatic, how you doing tonight, big baby?
Feeling good, Jay. Feeling
Still
good,
smiling,
man.
y'all. See that right there? You can't fake that every week. Come on.
Fired up about the show tonight, man.
Okay,
Yeah, you know,
okay.
this is our purpose, man. This is what we
Hey.
was born to do, right?
I will tell you, it's a passion that I love.
Yes.
I speak on it
Yes.
all the time when I'm not dealing with anything else. It's like number one on my mind.
Yes.
I'm asking people what's going on.
Yes.
What you want to talk about. And half the time these topics come from them, so don't be looking at me. I'm just saying. I'm innocent.
It's a strange place where these topics come from. They always
Why I
seem-
gotta be like that?
It always seem to align with something. You know what I'm saying, Jay?
Crap.
So, anyway, I'm doing good, man. How you doing tonight, man?
Man, I'm doing excellent. I will say, man, I'm very blessed. And my blessings I'm looking at because I stopped looking at my stresses.
Yes.
And that's what changes up your blessings. Because I'm looking at stress and I'm keeping the blessings coming from me because I keep myself that way. And then I realize, no, I'm my biggest problem. So I start stopping some things I was doing. And man, I tell you, rejoice came.
Yes.
Right after.
Yes.
So you got to stop some things.
Goodness, I want to speak on that so much because, you know, what you're looking at is what you're looking with.
Oh, say it again, say it
Right?
again.
If you're looking at sorrow and pain, it's because you're looking at it with a spirit of sorrow and pain. You got to change your mind, and that's what this show is all about. Let's go ahead and introduce ourselves properly. This is Bar Talk with Jay. My name is Craftmatic. This is my boy Smooth Jay.
In the building.
And of course, we are here to liberate your minds and your souls with a fantastic dialogue. We're going to have a conversation here tonight, and we hope that you can chime in from your own seat. We hope that you can find a way to become a part of this discussion. Figure out what you would do, how you would handle it. What are your thoughts? How do our experiences and our opinions impact you? You know, as you go through, please try and make some very clear-cut decisions about how you're going to handle things going forward. The show is only meaningful if you can get something out of it and hold on to it. So when you get to the time you need that strength or that inspiration or that answer, you'll already have it. And that's based on just a great discussion right here with Bar Talk with Jay. So we appreciate you folks for being with us. And of course, we always start the show off with a prayer.
Nah, give it to them again, man. They heard that one that you did before the show. They got to hear this.
Oh, man.
Because you just kind of double wow.
Excuse me.
And I'm scared to give it because, you know, I ain't seen that on my Cash App already.
Yeah. Excuse me. Let me get ready for this one. This is a good one. And this is one that is not about us. I want you to listen to this carefully.
Okay.
It's not about us.
Break it down.
The bar put this together for us tonight. It goes like this. The Lord is our salvation,
Oh, yes.
and he receives the glory. He receives the glory.
Give it to them.
Everything that we have, everything that we know of, everything that we are, everything that we've been through, that we've come through, that we've been victory of, it is because of him. And we can take no credit for it at all. And so, Heavenly Father, we just bow our heads tonight before you, just thanking you for who you are and giving you all the love and the honor and the grace that you deserve, Father. We give you all the glory tonight. We recognize, Father, that we are nothing without you. We give you all praise. We give you all the power to do your work in our lives. We ask, Father, that you would present us and represent us in the area of power. We're asking that you would be our power and be our strength, be our love, and continue to be our provider. We ask, Father, that you would protect us from the enemy and that you would give us wisdom and guidance and nurturing and a nurturing spirit. That you would give us peace and joy, Father. That you would continue, Lord, to be our way maker and our commander in chief. We ask, Father, that your faith and your strength would continue to provide us a clean, clear, honorable pathway in this life. Be our problem solver, Heavenly Father. Give me life more abundantly. And bring me closer to you, Heavenly Father. Anoint me with your way and your understanding and your righteousness. Show us the promised land, Father, and allow us to play on the playground of the promised land. And in the end, we will give you all the glory. We pray, Father, that you would be with us in this show tonight. And we ask that your mercy and your grace be liberating unto this dialogue. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Ooh, you went deep on that one.
Yeah, man. I felt that one.
I see. I see.
Yeah, I told you it wasn't about us.
Not at all.
It's about him and what he can do. And when you learn to be, when you wake up and become conscious in life, you will recognize that calling on him will produce fruit in your life.
Say it again.
The prayer that we just stated, that we just agreed upon, is something where we ask the Lord to come more into our lives. Be more protective, be more loving, be more of a nurturer, give us more guidance and more peace and more joy. You see how I was reaching and scratching and fighting to get to the Lord?
Yes.
We want more, and we're asking that he provide us more, because that's the only place that more could really come from.
Okay.
Right? With the exception of ourselves. And so let's go ahead and move on to last week's topic. What did we talk about last week, Jay?
Last week about something about bringing somebody in the bedroom,
Yeah.
spicing it up.
Yeah. Would you bring a third party basically into the bedroom, and how would you feel about that?
I don't think I want to do that.
You wouldn't do that?
I'm to a point where I've done enough things that
Yeah.
I don't think that had the best value. It could go so many different ways, but again, it's each his own. I'm not saying it's not for everyone. I'm just saying, looking at it now, I don't think that's something I care to do anymore.
Right.
But the thing I can say is I tried it.
The thing.
And I had some different experience with it, so I had some good, bad, and then that's why I'm able to speak on it in a way to tell people how it might be able to be done in a way that it might not cause a fight.
Yeah.
Like, you might want to get her to go pick the girl. You might want to, if you get done, let your girl walk her out. Don't you walk her out. These are small steps. Because again, if you bring her in and you don't let her know and she ain't familiar, she gonna think that's what you was messing with anyway.
Right.
And it goes downhills from there. So I'm not trying to make y'all be out there like that. That's just if that's what you choose.
Right.
So again, that's my disclaimer. I'm stick with it. But again, you got poly relationships.
Yeah.
Like, I can't do that.
Yeah, I can't do that.
2 people at my house at the same time, I'm going to be the first man to tell you, that ain't for me. That's too much. I can't do it.
I probably could do 2 wives, but I can't have no other man in my house.
I don't think I can do 2 wives. 2 people at my house at the same time talking and telling me that. That's too much.
That's too much.
I mean, it's too much. It's too much when I just had one.
So let me ask you this question, and we covered this a little bit last week, but if she comes to you and asks you to bring someone else into the bedroom, are you another woman, right? So, another man is not allowed. We already agreed on that. But another woman, she asks you to bring another woman in the bedroom. Do you think it's because she just wants another woman, or is she really looking to try to spice up the life? I mean, what?
I think she got a curiosity. A lot of that's built on a person's curiosity. And especially if you mention you did it before and she has that curiosity, is going to add to it, because a lot of times they're older and they didn't experience that. So they want to experience it in life. So since you experienced it, they figure you might know, so they'll try to give it to you like that. So a lot of it's curiosity. It's like Pandora's box. It was never open. It's kind of like forbidden, frowned upon. Now you older, you really ain't worried about what nobody gonna say. So now let me try it, because you done mentioned it. You done said you out there, you a little hot boy. Let me find out, So they'll present it to you. And then it might shock you. Like I said, some of the people came to me, it didn't really shock me. But I just knew they really wasn't ready for it.
Yeah.
And then some mentioned it to me and they wasn't ready because they never did it.
Yeah. What's striking me as you talk about it is it sounds like if you haven't experienced it, that it's always going to be that little seed of curiosity in you. And some seeds are bigger than other seeds, and some seeds might not germinate until the 40s and 50s, and that curiosity will still be in you. So you really can't talk about it in the way you were talking about it. Hey, I've been there and done that. I know I've had my share. I've had my experience. I've had my exposure. there are still those people who are still interested in some.
Right, and
some
I
of
don't
that
want to take that
exposure.
from them.
Yeah, we're not gonna take it from
Right.
them, but it's not the way to build a strong, healthy relationship, which is what we always are attempting to focus on here in this show. Having another partner in the bedroom is Pandora's box, and one of the things that I have heard about on numerous experiences is that and I talked about it last week, that the woman shows up the next day and she with the woman again while you at work, right? So she's literally starting an affair. She don't see it that way at the moment. She may be just enjoying the moments, but sometimes those heated sparks of sexual interest can dwindle on, and
You're right.
and he might even want another woman at that point.
Might that or the same
You
one.
giving him or the same
But
one.
it could be a problem. But I gotta tell you all day, it's all about how you feel and what you look at. Like me, somebody want to do it now, and I'm just to a point where there's other things that we can do to spice it up.
Yeah, just one other thing that's striking me that
What's that?
I guess if the religious, real spiritual and religious community were listening to this conversation, they would be like, everything you're saying is utterly preposterous. They said.
They say, but it's still happening.
And that's what I want to address,
Okay.
is that we're talking about the subject because regardless of rule or order, that it's still taking place.
Mm-hmm.
And if we can open the doorway up to, why this is happening and what kinds of things begin to, trigger it off, et cetera, we may be able to ward some of those very dark experiences from coming into our lives. And so it does need to be talked about. And, obviously it's going to be lesser than a religious format, bar talk, perhaps.
Hey.
But
Bring it to the baby.
it's got to be talked about, and it being talked about, you can make those decisions pretty early. Like I said earlier, you should be, after you watch that show, you'll be like, okay, threesomes are out. I'm not interested, and you can go a lifetime and not have to worry about it.
And biting. Remember I mentioned that.
What?
Don't be trying to bite me.
Yeah.
Oh, that's back on me. My bad.
Yeah, that's back on you.
Yeah, my bad.
Yeah, you talking
Told you, man, you trying to bite me, bro.
right? Let's go ahead and cover our quote for today. By the way, you can catch the show. Any of our platforms,
Yes.
we're all over the internet: Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, iTunes,
Yep.
Spotify, Google Podcasts, Spreaker, as well as some of the Dungeon Affairs.
Ain't be all done to do with. If y'all are any of the dating apps, you might see us on the Tinder. I mean, if
Yeah.
you're on Tinder, you'll see I got a profile on Tinder. I might not be on Tinder no more, but just go ahead and look me up over here. You can look me up on what's that one? BLK. I heard that was the Dutch one. I put one on BLK. I put myself out there for you to see that I'm willing to go everywhere to find out where you might be with your relationship, but we can talk about it. It's not for me just to date. I really feel like I'm not ready to just go to a table to get to there. I want to get to you so I can find out what's going on. I got a passion and a purpose, and if you can't figure out where I'm at, I'm not for you. Everything ain't for everybody. So somebody looking at me and want me, just understand this ain't for you. I'm just trying to help you out.
All right.
Give you a disclaimer.
That's good, Chase. Now for our quote for the day, after that unsolicited testimony.
Tommy, baby, say it.
Our quote for the day goes like this.
Okay.
Understanding is much deeper than knowledge. There are many people who know us, but very few who understand us.
That's too true.
Man, and that quote kind of speaks for itself.
Yes, it does. Drop my mic.
What else can you say on that, right?
Macon, Georgia, Barbara did that one.
I'm going to read it one more time just because it's so
Go
short
ahead.
and powerful. Understanding is much deeper than knowledge. There are many people who know us, but very few who understand us. And most people would look at our lives from the outside in and not understand us, right? They would have a knowledge of what we like, what we don't like, a few things here, a few things there, but they really don't understand who we are and where those behaviors, those likes and dislikes, where those attitudes that we have come from. And oftentimes they come from, experiences of the past, and sometimes they come from watching our parents make decisions.
Right.
But it takes a person who comes into your inner circle to be able to understand who you are. And once a person comes into your inner circle, they're going to begin to understand who you are. And there's going to be a lot of good stuff, but there's going to be some stuff that they're going to look at sideways.
Always.
And you can't allow people, to judge you. But if you let them in your inner circle, maybe they can give you some guidance. Maybe they could open some doorways, some self-criticism type stuff, where they can help you to understand. And it's just a powerful idea. So I got 4 or 5 different ideas I want to chime in on, just some Minecraft stuff. You know what I mean? Okay. But we got plenty of Minecraft coming up, so you folks are going to stay tuned. So we're going to go ahead and conclude that for tonight. Tonight we are talking about, besides sex, things that people bring to the table.
Besides that?
Besides sex, what are you bringing to the table?
Besides it?
Is that Harvin, Jay?
I'm just saying that. We gotta go to break because
we gotta go to break.
I gotta get my dialogue together.
Yeah. Listen, it's gonna be a good dialogue, man. It's gonna be a good dialogue. Yeah. So listen, we're about to take a break. This is 2-hour show. We're not quick fix. Stay with us. The show gets deeper and better as we go.
All day.
Enjoy these Minecraft clips. You're always able to go to MinecraftCentral.com and check them out as well. But we're gonna be right back with more Bar Talk with Jay right after this.
Welcome back. Bar Talk with Jay.
Gotta get that strength in your spirit.
Come on now.
Yeah.
Let it sizzle, baby.
Demand fairness.
He said demand. He didn't say ask.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't ask people for it.
Well,
you can't give them a choice to give you fairness.
I mean,
you have to decide that you're going to be treated fairly, and you have to act accordingly. That's the way the world works. And if you decide to be treated unfairly, then you're just going to be left behind. Because only the people who stand up for themselves get what they believe they deserve. Nobody's going to give you what you deserve, right?
And it's one of them times
you have to ask for it.
You have
to ask for it, demand it. One of the things I think about is athletes, particularly pro ball players, who require a certain amount of money.
Right.
And they set their stake in the ground, and this is what it's going to take to get me. And here's what I'm going to give you. I'm going to give you the same performance I've been performing for the last 10, 15 years. And this is what it's worth. We already know what you're making off of us. So you might as well go ahead and ante up, because somebody's going to ante up. And if you're not going to ante up, then somebody else will. Right?
And that's where I go.
Sometimes it's not always about the money, but it might be about getting with a good team, under the right coach, under the right direction, etc. But fairness is not going to be given to you. You must demand it. And we'll leave it at that.
I like that.
So tonight we're talking about, besides sex, what do you bring to the table?
See what happened was this one right here I really like, because it leaves a lot off, because a lot of times that's exactly what you come with. You come with what you can do. And it's sometimes in a sexual nature.
Right.
So we don't have to go with that, because that's been eliminated. It don't matter what gender you are, what you talking, none of that. So we push that off. So now it's really coming to the table. Now, this is going to be interesting, because I'm going to go in real quick with me. I don't think I bring nothing to the table.
Okay.
I don't think I bring anything, because it ain't about the business or anything like that. I think I've been out here dating so long, I bring a lot of opinions, and I feel like it ain't fair until I wash all this clean and understand that I have to be a stronger me before I can come to the table for you. You can't get the best of me if I don't love me and I don't give all of me back out so you can understand me.
Yeah, and I wouldn't say that you don't love yourself.
I just use the harshness.
But what it sounds like you're saying is that you are not available.
I'm not available for what everybody wants right now, just because I've noticed I took so much in and I have not took the time to process it all. I have to process it, and I use my businesses and everything else to front where I need to fix. I gotta fix that before I can really get into another person, or else I'm dragging.
Yeah, and Jay, you got to know that you are in the minority when you think that way, because there are not many people who are, I guess, internally wise enough to say that to themselves, that, hey, I'm not ready. People are typically moving from relationship to relationship to relationship, and there's no healing in the midst. You know, that's one of the greatest problems we have in mankind, is that there's no healing. People don't know how to heal themselves. They don't know how to overcome their hurdles and their battles and their pains and their troubles. And so they keep carrying, you know, the bags just keep getting a little heavier with each step. And so it's very honorable to know that you are not available. Yeah. And so, you say you don't bring anything to the table.
Nope.
And so, you know what? Let's talk about that for a minute, okay? Because that's good. That's good, right?
I'm good with that.
What it basically says is the only thing I can bring to the table is what?
Nothing. I don't need to be at the table. I need to leave the table alone. That's the problem. Because see, if you bring anything else when you are not ready,
and see,
that's a component that's going to get me more messed up. My whole thing is I shouldn't be at the table like that, because that's when a person is thinking about, okay, you bringing something to the table, you're going to be there. Sometimes you need to push away from the table, fix yourself before you approach yourself to the table.
Okay, listen, and perhaps you didn't understand my question, right? Because your first assumption was that I was talking about bringing your bags. Right?
Yeah, a lot of stuff.
What you do bring to the table is you have a great personality, that you're fun-loving. What you do bring to the table is that you can have, if you're not available, what do you bring to the table? Well, I'm a good dude. I'm not going to ever mistreat you, talk down to you.
When you break that down, it makes people forget all what I just said.
Right.
So we're gonna look at it like more understand. I'm a very understanding person. I'm not jealous. And the reason why is because I got a way to hold my feelings. I really feel like I am a caring person. Now, a lot of people love the word love. I love care. Okay. And if I meet you, one of the things I want to know first is, can you care and will you?
Woo!
Because everybody want love, and you can't care. I'm not worried about your love.
Can you care? That's a big one.
You have to make sure of that to grab me and gravitate to me, because I have a whole lot of that in me, and I need to see if some of that's within you. Now, some people could be hurt. They don't want to show it, but the bottom line, you better have it. Because I can't pull that out. That's something you have to, that God-given. I need to know you have some of that before I can process more.
And listen, he's not even, see, we're talking about the side of the equation where he's not available, right? But he brings these, I'm not jealous, I'm understanding, I'm a caring dude. And so long before he would even consider a relationship, he's got to see that this person is a caring person. Right? I mean, I like to make major points during this show, and I think that is a major point. He said that he asked the question, can you care? And, will you have anybody in your life who don't know how to care?
I know some people have been scoring so bad that they have a difficult time.
They're carrying their bags of,
And I try my best to push them towards counseling, but again, a lot of people don't want to run that way.
Right.
I mention it because, again, it's a deep thing that I feel that's going on that I know I can't just help. Everybody feel like you want to help somebody. Sometimes it's deeper than you.
Right.
And just knowing that you want to made me know I care.
Right.
Even though I've seen that they didn't, but I know because they coming off so, they must be scorned. They going through something. So I care enough to say, hey, have you ever got any help for what's going on? Because I hear it in you. I hear your pain. I don't like that pain. I have dealt with some. So now they want to look for me as a person that can help them. I can't always do it, but I'm quick to be able to push them to a person that's trained. They can get deep, because I don't know how deeply rooted it is, and I don't want to waste time where somebody else can help you and get you to a point where you're healed. I want you healthy because I care.
And you know what, Jay? I hear in that, you're a helper, right?
Yeah.
And that's so important, that when somebody comes into your life, they can be a helper, right? Well, the show is talking about the sex is good, but are you a helper? Right? The sex is good, but are you a helper or are you a taker? Right? Do you even have the ability to care, or are you just showing up for a session?
Oh, come on now.
I mean, let's get to the real of this subject, right?
Oh, I like it already.
Are you here because we're going to have an evening of passion, but before we get to the passion, can we have some fun?
Thank you.
Can we enjoy one another? Is every sentence out of your mouth got something to do with a relationship? And you trying to reel me in with your verbiage and with your innuendos and all of this. Like, can we just vibe? Can we just care about me enough to let me have my space? What he's saying is, I'm not available. And so besides sex, what else he brings to the table? He said nothing, but I beg to differ that he brings understanding. He said he's not jealous. He's looking for caring. He's a helper. And, if we never get, I think about this. If we never get to a place where we are in a fully lifelong committed relationship,
mm-hmm.
wouldn't we want to surround ourselves with people who are caring?
Yes.
With people who are understanding and people who are helpers,
mm-hmm.
right? That, AP used to always talk about her maintenance man. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But I think I remember hearing something about a Christmas gift for the maintenance man. Do you care about the people in your world, right?
You better down good enough to get a gift. That's all I gotta say.
I wasn't expecting to go down that alley.
Hey, you went there, bro. I'll just ride with you, my boy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So caring is so important. I just can't. I can't say enough about that, right? Because after sex, I'm gonna need a real person here.
Yes.
I'm gonna need a real person in my life, in my corner. And you're the person I talk to about these things, and maybe I have someone else I talk to about those things. But if you're gonna fill that void, I need you to fill that void with some reciprocity. You know what I mean? It need to be yin and yang. It need to be some friendship, right? Some people don't know how to be a friend, Jay.
They don't.
Right?
And one of the ways you would know is when they show no signs of care.
When they show no signs of care.
Yeah, I mean, what kind of friend can you be when you show no signs of care? I couldn't
Yeah.
really see nobody really want to be your friend.
Right.
Because of that alone. And
What do you sense as no signs of care? I mean,
all about self and nothing about anybody else. That's getting back to a selfishness that's a non-caring. You can care for self, and I have no problem with that because I care for me as well. But when I see everything's about you, I mean everything.
Everything's
and
about
it's
you.
nothing about anybody else. Even your kids, you got you in them. Everything's about you. Oh, they gonna be me. They gonna have no choice but to grow up to be like me. It's you so selfish that at that point, there's no room for me.
Yeah.
That's a non-caring person that's letting me know that there's no room for me. So why am I making room for a person that's clearly not understanding me?
Yeah.
Because I can fit in there and do some things with you that I promise you would care afterwards. But why should I win you over to something you ain't even caring for?
Why should I win you over for something you're not even caring for? You don't even want this.
Yeah, sound like I'm just trying to be Captain Save a person. You can't just save people that ain't recognizing what you can bring. That's why you lose your ability. Because you out there doing things for people that are not going to recognize and not going to change because you feel a certain way about them. And that's why it hurts when you run across this, because I don't want to see people that don't care. I like to have great conversation with a person that cares. We can go on and on and on. I tell them all day, I do talk radio and I talk a lot. I'm going to talk to you till you pass out. That's normally how that can go down. But when I see that you have no care in you, the conversation is not going to go long. Because I'm not going to try to win you over to a side that you ain't recognizing. You're real negative. You don't care about the words that I'm saying. I'm bringing positive uplifting. You're bringing me negative words. You're bringing me things that want to go against everything I'm talking about. So I feel like I'm fighting you. I shouldn't have to.
Right.
I shouldn't have to force a conversation with a person.
Right.
But when you're so negative, that's what it seemed like.
Right.
So I have to remove myself, keep my energy, and hope that they see it through something else. You can't fix everybody.
Yeah.
But you can start off and ask.
Yeah.
And I met many people and I asked.
I like this conversation, and there's probably half a dozen conversations could come out of it. I want to go back to, no signs of care, right? And you said, all about self and nobody else, selfishness, right? And this is so amazing. This is so powerful to talk about because I just never heard a dialogue like we're about to have, right?
Okay.
But when you encounter anyone, especially a new person, you're meeting lots of new people, you're dating, right? Let's say you got 2 or 3 people you might be dating or talking to, whatever, that you're going to notice that one of them is really all about self. One of them is really selfish,
Okay.
right? And the way that you start to experience the selfishness is they start running game. You feel me on that, Jay, right?
You know, I already
you
know.
feel me on that. You feel that movie?
Come on now.
They start running game, right? They start thinking that you're shallow-minded on things. And ultimately, what happens is you reach a point where you say to yourself, this person ain't about me at all. This person is just about themselves, right? And so we have great sex, but that's about all.
That's it.
We can't be friends because every conversation is going to end up with what they want, what they need, etc., etc., etc. And then you start to get those innuendos that they run in game. You know what I mean? They only want to,
That's what they do.
Yeah. How they run game, Jay?
I mean, they play off of you. They hope you are into them, and if you show a chase, they drag you. That's why I say stand firm. One of the people I say now, I meet people that say I'm more of a hind hole. They just say asshole. I'm not really. I'm just gonna stand firm because even though I might like you, I ain't chasing you.
Listen, was it me and you talked about it?
Which
That everybody good when you're doing stuff for them, right? But when you switch it up, you know what I'm saying? Now you the worst guy in the world. Now this, that, the other, right?
I say no to a person on upfront and let them know I will say no to them. And I like to say a lot of women don't like to hear the word no. They like to be able to get their way. I get that, but you ain't gonna always get your way. So I tell them on the upfront, and when I usually tell them it's not what I'm saying no, because normally at that point I'm getting to know them, so it's more yeses because they're not asking for a lot.
Right.
So when they hear me say it, it's like, okay, he said it, but he ain't never really said it to me. And then all of a sudden you go ask me for something, and I said no, and it's like, what? It's a surprise. It ain't that big of a surprise because I already gave that to you. I let you know a little bit about me because I'm not gonna get drugged just because you feel like I'm that person.
Right.
Don't do that. And I really feel like that's what make people like shift real quick, and they be like, yeah, because remember I mentioned care. So I care for you not to do me like that.
Right.
But if you keep on being you, you won't be with me.
Right.
And I'm like, you just cold. It's not about being cold. I'm trying to find the perfect person that would make the perfect wife for me.
Right.
And I don't know what I'm getting. And then I got to deal with game.
Right.
Well, I know game. I love to play spades.
We know game.
Yeah.
We
Sit
know
on
game.
to the table. I promise you, I will run you.
Yes.
But why would I want to run somebody, hurt somebody when I can care to help somebody? Don't play me. I won't play you.
There you go, man. Listen, it's time for us to take another break. I want y'all folks to stay tuned. Hope you're enjoying the show so far. We'll be right back. More Bar Talk with Jay right after this.
Welcome back with Bar Talk with Jay.
Welcome back.
So that vehicle come up behind you and you see the strobes. Yeah, we ain't writing tickets, but we want to know was you checking us out.
Right.
That's what we do over here, man. You know, hopefully y'all understand we have fun, enjoyable. We hopefully when COVID, I heard it opening up already, crap.
Yes.
But as they open up, be safe. I don't know if y'all vaccinated or not. Let's not rush to do anything. But I love to be able to get back out to the parks, get back to the bars, do live shows, do weddings. We got a lot of plans to do a lot of things out there, but of course, because of what's going on, we got to stay safe.
Yes.
Yes. We have loved ones. We got people to care for us, and we want you guys to be cared for as well. So I love that word. Let's care for one another, do the best we can, wear masks, social distance, do all our part, and we'll get this world back to where it needs to be. And I like to say stronger because if we care enough, we'll get past everything. Believe and care.
Yes. Believe and care. So powerful, Jay. So powerful. So tonight's subject, we're talking about besides sex, things. What do you bring to the table?
Yeah, and I did say nothing, but my whole thing is when I said that I didn't want to go up to the table. That's why I said anything, and then that's when I changed it up and I told you if I'm gonna come, then again my personality, the fact that I'm a giving, caring person, not just the fact that I got different businesses and I am not broke, so money is not going to be one of the things that I'm really worried about, and I'm not looking for yours. My biggest thing is about coming to the table. I know I bring some things, but I told you before I'm not willing to come to the table. Because at this time, I know I got to heal some things within me to get me in a better position so when I come, I can come correct. Now, at that point, I want somebody else to come, and I hope they come with an open mind as well as me. So don't come with the attitude of you is all that and you can fix. First of all, don't come to the table telling me what you can fix.
Right.
Especially when it comes to me.
Right.
Because that's between me and my Lord.
Right.
Let us work this out, and you fix you. And then we can work on the rest. I hear people all the time, all you need is a good woman. That might be true. But before I ruin somebody, let me and myself do the best I can before I get to that woman. Because again, I think we rush into things and we cause our own demise. If you know you ain't right and you know you need a little time, there's nothing wrong with staying. Some people gonna press you. Don't let nobody force you into something that you're not ready for. Because again, I think everybody want a tip. Everybody want, but they don't understand. And then you coming at them differently.
Right.
So for me to say I'm not ready for a monogamous relationship, why, whatever, Jay, you just want to be this, you want to be that. You ain't been me. You ain't walked in my shoes. Quit acting like you even know me.
Right.
Because if you talk to me like that, I get offended. Because I've been doing so much for so many people, you should understand. I ain't trying to stay out there like that. I just don't want that.
Right.
But before I finish up, there's a person on the line that's about to change your whole way of thinking if he had a bad day. Now, I don't have to give no names because I think this man been doing it for a long time. Now, this time when I introduce him, please understand this is now an author. This is a person that wrote a book. So when I tell you people here doing great things, we're going to continue. But Jeffrey, how you doing tonight, big baby?
Brother Jay, Brother Crab, how's it going, fellas?
Man, it's going fabulous, bro.
Yeah.
It's going fabulous.
Good over here. How about over there? How about that?
Always ready for your segment, man. How you doing tonight, man?
Oh, man, it was a beautiful day in the A today. The sun was out. It wasn't too hot. It was a nice little breeze, and, everything was cool. But here's the thing. I want y'all to remember now, my granddaughter, she loves me. And my son and my daughter, they both love me. My mama and all of my 9 brothers and sisters, they love me. But in spite of all of that, you know what time it is.
Yes, sir.
It is time for you to close your mouth and listen. You ask me some questions, I give you some answers from a man's point of view. Now listen, I got one reason for the habitually single woman and one reason for the habitually single man as to why you might be single. But before we get into that, here is my disclaimer. Now see, what I'm going to talk about might not apply to you. If it doesn't apply to you, I don't want you to put your foot up in this shoe.
Mm-hmm.
But if it does apply to you, I want you to put both feet in both shoes and walk around in them because you're about to learn something tonight. Ladies, you go first. All right, ladies. Some of y'all are single simply because you don't understand the melody of love. I'm going to break it down for you. See, here we go. See, you think your relationship song is comprised of one melody, and that melody is your melody. See, you think the sequence of your whims and desires are sufficient to sustain the entire song, or you believe that every note that comprises your soul brings joy and satisfaction to those blessed with hearing your tone. You think your melody is the gift. And you know what, ladies? In a way, you're right. See, your song should be melodious to the ear, and that linear succession of your musical soul should attract the listener in such an amazing way that he becomes enthralled with the very thought of a blissful arrangement with you organized in an aesthetic whole. The one thing that's missing, though, is your ass can't play no music. You don't understand the power of a bass line, and you don't understand the value of a counter melody. That counter melody designed to challenge the melody in a way that, when done correctly, forms a perfect harmony. And that is something that you just can't hear because you tone deaf. And that's why you sing.
You had a rough day, ain't you?
I got a right day.
Had a rough day. Had a rough day, ain't
I
you?
believe he had a rough day today. Hey, it was sunny and everybody loved him, but I don't think things went right, bro. Hey, listen, I believe you've been in the Wikipedia.
Yeah, he
website.
was. He was throwing them at him. I'm like, what the?
Oh my God, you got extraordinarily intelligent on us tonight. Bruh, I'm just loving it. You don't understand the melody of love. Listen, that was poetry, bruh.
Yes, it was.
Oh my God. I won't even speak on it, man. It was so
I
powerful.
think that was poetic justice. I think. Go, Jeffrey, go back to my old movie.
I'm gonna let you have it back, Brother Jeffrey. It's all yours, man.
All right, fellas, don't think I'm letting y'all off the hook.
Okay.
Fellas, you are next.
What we got?
All right, fellas, some of y'all are single simply because you don't understand the rhythm of love. See, your strong, regular, repeated pattern of sound is one-dimensional, and the systematic arrangement of your soul's musical sound has little musical duration and inspirational pattern. See, the cadence of your rhythm is erratic. The tempo of your movements is inconsistent. The rising and the falling of your energy is chaotic. And the ebbing and flowing of the pulse is unhealthy. And the song that you give is a song of poison. Now, I ain't talking about BBD back in the day. You know, that song had a shred of redeeming value. I'm talking about a toxicity like a song like Throw That Ass in a Circle. That's what I'm talking about. Or a song like Throat Baby. Yeah, that's the new thing that's out. That's the toxicity that's coming in your music. Or even Captain Coming, Captain Coming, Captain Coming, Captain Coming. That's all that your sound got. It's a catchy hook. But there's no substance to any sound that comes from the instrument of your soul. See, there's nothing to partner with. See, there's nothing to flow with. See, there's nothing but a hollow drum with no percussive value, no harmonic value, and no melody. And that's why your ass is single.
You was a drum major.
That's
wasn't
a
you?
drop the mic.
You was a drum major. See that right now?
That is a drop the mic and superbly put, my friend. And as I listened to you chime through, I didn't feel any conviction. I didn't feel like I was causing some of those, because I do believe I have a song in my heart. But what you said was no substance to the instrument of your soul.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I'm just saying.
That
You
is-
gonna make me just go back and play music.
I mean, listen, you know,
I ain't singing nothing.
I think, and I'm gonna just attempt this for a second. I think what he's talking about is this little life in one's life. You know what I mean? Like, you're not fun, you're not humorous, you're not dancing, you're not singing, you're not bringing life to life. You're just there. You're not bringing music to the game. You're just there. You're a dry note. You have no rhythm in your love. It should be fun and spontaneous and beautiful, and you know what I'm saying? That's what he's talking about, right?
Harmonious.
Man, listen, I'm gonna let it go at that. We'll give it back to you, brother.
Go
Jeffrey.
ahead, Jeffrey.
That's awesome.
All right, now, brothers and sisters, I need y'all to understand that we are composing a symphony when we walk in concert with each other. I need you to understand the melody, that tune, that series of musical notes or pitches falling in a recognizable pattern. That is sheer beauty. See, the rhythm. When the rhythm in song is usually matched with the lyrics, the origin of the word meaning Greek now, don't get it meaning flow, that basically puts us in step rhythmically. I need you to understand that when the melody and the rhythm get together, it is beautiful.
Yes.
Then we can throw a little tempo in there. Make sure we're walking at an even pace. Then we can add some pitch, a little high or low tones in there. Then the timbre, it adds a little color to the relationship, the dynamics, whether or not we are moving or sitting still, we are dynamic in our unity. Last thing is the harmony, when we put it all together in a way that calls people to pay attention. It touches and it stirs their soul in a way that moves and spurs them to action. That's what happens when men in our community and and women in our community are on the same page, when we have that symphonic band or that symphonic orchestra playing in perfect pitch, our children follow us. They still gonna be kids, but they follow us. And they remember that tune as they begin to compose their own sonata, their own lyrics, their own poetry. When we get together like that, it is beautiful. And that's all we got to say about that.
Ah, man. You've been in Stevie Wonder's memoirs or something, man. My God, bro.
I told you he was a drum major. I tell you, man.
But listen, I didn't get it before, but now I get it. And in summary, he said the ladies are the melody and the men are the rhythm.
Mm-hmm.
And when we put rhythm and melody together, it creates harmony.
That is correct.
Ooh, that's genius, bruh. That's
deep.
genius. That's genius. Listen, it kind of says, I really want to hear your thoughts on tonight's subject, Brother Jeffrey. It goes like this. Besides sex, what do you bring to the table?
I bring the whole effing table. I want you to understand that I'm just not going to walk in with a piece of table. I got a whole table that I'm going to bring in. And as a matter of fact, if your table ain't big enough, we still going to keep it there, but we going to move it to the side, and we're going to use this big-ass corporate table that I bring to the relationship. I'm talking about a boardroom table
Yes.
that can sit, between 15 and 20 people comfortably,
Yes.
not, doubling up. I mean, plenty of space for a whole lot of stuff. When you go to a buffet and they got that long line of the food items built out of the buffet,
Yes.
you can look at that as a serving table. Well, damn it, that's what I bring to the relationship. And I need you to understand, because I bring so much damn space and so much capacity to the relationship, I might look at your little bitty ass table, but I want you to understand, if you bring a little bitty ass table, we gonna put it in the corner and we gonna sit on my table now. If your table is equally yoked with mine, damn it, we got two big ass tables and we're gonna entertain a whole lot of folks and we're gonna make a whole lot of money. And that's all I got on that.
Well, before y'all go, please understand Jeffrey got a book out. I sent it out on Facebook, so please support. It's good to know that I got an author in the building. I'm proud of you, my brother. I wanted to make sure I threw that out there.
Yeah, tell them how they can find you, my brother.
Oh man, actually on right now it's on Kindle.
Okay.
The Amazon Kindle, so you can basically use the hashtag Broken Crayon Still Color, and it will come up there. It's a compilation of authors. We all got together and we put the book together, and the book is powerful, man. There are a lot of really, really powerful testimonies in that book, and I'm happy to be a part of it and, looking for big things.
Yeah, man. Say that for me one more time. Broken crayons, what now?
Broken Crayons Still Color.
Yes, they do.
Well, definitely send me an inbox, man. I shared the last one, but one of the things I want to do is we support each other. This is what we do at Bar Talk with Jay. I mean, you're with great people doing great things outside the studios.
Yes.
And I just want to make sure y'all know this is a platform that we share things. So get on a positive tip, add us, share us, and you'll find out we can do blessed things
There
for
you
everybody.
go. We're so grateful for you, Brother Jeffrey. Any parting words for us, my friend?
Man, I tell you, the beauty in our relationships is the way that we combine our differences. And when we balance like that, keep in mind, when we balance like that, it's perfect.
Yes.
It ain't average. It ain't okay. When we balance, it's perfect.
Yes.
So look for that balance, not necessarily perfection in the individual, but perfection in the balance. You'll be all right. That's all I got, brothers.
Ooh, that's all we need. Thank you so much, my brother. And we'll look forward to catching up with you next week, Brother Jeffrey.
All day.
All right, thank you, fellas. Take care, fellas.
All right. And we have heard from the good Reverend Dr. Jeffrey.
Did he not bring it?
Oh, man.
Did he not
Tonight
bring
he
it?
brought it. It's time for us to go to break. Right on time we are. And so you folks stay tuned. We're going to be right back with more Bar Talk with Jay right after this.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. Welcome back. I
You
hope
doing
you,
these segments, boy.
yeah, man. I hope you enjoyed that one, man. That was a
It's
good one.
powerful. I like it. I like it.
Because that can apply to any person. I try to make these for those who already know and those who have no clue. And those who have no clue, my question is, are you asking? Are you asking for big breaks? Are you asking for transportation? Are you asking for investment opportunities? Are you asking for the new job? Are you asking for promotion? Are you asking for elevation? Are you asking for increase? You got to use your spirit to reach for the higher things in life. And the higher things ultimately is a greater intelligence and a greater wisdom.
Yes.
But sometimes we ask for things and stuff. But you got to ask for a higher ground. You know, you want to be in a better place this year than you were last year. You want to ask God to put you in a better place in life than you've ever been before. Are you asking? Are you asking for miracles?
Say crap.
If you're not asking for miracles, you definitely aren't going to get them. Because if you aren't asking, that means you don't believe. But if you believe, you'll ask. You know what I mean? If you believe, you'll ask. I have a friend laying on her deathbed right now, but I believe she's going to get up.
That's right.
And she's going to walk again. And if for any reason she doesn't, it's because the Lord called her home.
That's it.
And so I'm certainly comforted in my heart, but I'm asking the Lord to get her up, put her back in her living room, give her energy and vitality, and give her happiness and joy, and let her go to the barbecue again, you know? And I'm believing that He's going to get her up to do exactly that. And so, you know, our consciousness, our thought process makes a difference.
Right.
You know, it makes a huge difference in the world. And so ask for what you desire. That's all I'll say on that.
Profound.
And so, we are talking tonight about a pretty deep subject. And I never had a chance to set this one up, but the title of this subject tonight is Besides Sex, What Do You Bring to the Table? And, you know, the notion here in the question, you know, the question is almost like a prerequisite. It's like we're all looking for something, right? We all need something to fill us and to satisfy us, particularly in the areas of relationship.
Yes.
Right? We need communion and companionship and fellowship and dynamics that help support our spirits, support our plans, support our who we are. Right? And so, in spite of having a great, you know, sexual encounter or even just a great love life. We're all hoping that on the other side of that equation, there's a real person there. And I think, you know, even if whether you're in relationship mode or not, you're still hoping that there's a real person there. You see, oftentimes you don't get to experience the real person until after you have sex. Oftentimes, you don't experience the person without personality until after you have sex, right? Something about after sex, you get to see who they really are. And we know, you know, especially women and maybe men, but we know many cases where after sex, men will flee. And that tells you a lot about who they were and who they are, you know?
What they seen.
Now, what?
And not like who you were.
What they experienced.
It's time to go.
And so after sex, we're hoping that, again, there's a real person there. And there's so many things, especially if you're interested in having someone in your life. If you're interested in a significant other. If you want to play the chase, play the chase. But if you're interested in having someone special in your life to make a difference, you have to assess that person. And you have to begin to understand who they are, how they operate, how they make decisions, whether they fly by the seat of their pants or whether they're diligent, sturdy, grinding, wholehearted people.
Right.
And in understanding all of that, you know, it leads to the opportunity for you to make a decision as to whether you want this person to stay in your life or not. Okay? We all know that there is a dancing crescendo that is happening before the sex. Right? There's a you know, talking long nights and, you know, nights out, you know, maybe a whole handhold in the park, and you know, there's a lot of romantic innuendos that will lead up to the sex. In a lot of cases, some it don't take but a day, right? Or 2 days, or 2 dates, right? Am I one wrong? You
It
know.
happens.
But there is this dancing crescendo, whether it lasts a couple of days or a couple of months. You know, you're not necessarily getting the whole person, right? You're getting their representative, what I call their personality. Personality is my ability to pull down my shade or lift my shade when I want to. I can show you what I want to show you, right? If you see my car, you may see my car as a nice, clean place. You'll think I'm a clean person, right?
Okay.
But you come to my house one night, you realize that my house is, you know, a tragedy, and you'll start to really know who I am, right? You'll start to see things and stuff that will allow you to again know who they are. And if you are entertaining a relationship, there's many of things that you are going to want and need. But I'll just try to name just a few of them to see if I can just add some magic to this dialogue here.
Go for it.
Would you spend time with an unclean person? Right? They just say they don't clean up behind themselves. They don't take care of themselves. They don't want to wash the dishes. They don't want to keep the floors clean. They all got stuff everywhere. That's the kind of person they are. If you're going to have a significant other in your life, you want them to be a tidy person. You want to be a person that cares about their space and that cares about their things. And that's really what it comes down to again. Is not only caring about them, but it also shows about, how they care about themselves.
You don't care to clean up.
You don't care to clean up.
Nasty.
Yeah. And, that might determine whether I want to continue to have sex with you. Right?
Yeah, because you might not, you don't wash dishes. You might not wash.
Yes.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I ain't talking about nobody, but I'm just saying.
You don't wash dishes, you might not wash your
Yeah,
ass,
yeah,
right?
you ain't washing nothing else.
Yeah. Hey,
Dishes
listen.
thing, house thing, you might stink to.
Red Fox said it like this. He said, you can let your armpits go 2-3 days. He said, but you got to wash your ass.
And I'm gonna tell you right now, you wash them armpits too.
Wash
Get
them
what he
armpits
said.
too.
Just wash that. Just put some water on your
I learned in
behind.
the military, a real shower take 5 minutes. You can get in there, hit the hot spots, and get all the way.
Hey, at least you hit some spots.
Right.
You can't do that. I got a big nose.
Right.
You can't do that to me.
Right.
Talking about what's wrong.
Listen, I have met women in my day who, just weren't healthy on the clean level. You know what I mean?
The pH level, the pH is off.
I think it was.
Be like,
Hey, your skin ain't supposed to be shining at 5 o'clock in the morning. That's what happened when you wake up in the morning. So
it ain't balanced.
and it's not only just cleanliness. I mean, do they have nice teeth? Do they take care of their teeth? Are they taking care of their skin? Do they keep their hair cut? Do they keep their hygiene up? When you take their shoes off, do they smell their feet? You know what I mean? These are things that matter, and they show. What they ultimately show is how well you take care of business.
Yeah.
That's what it really shows. It shows how well you take care of business. Because I'll promise you, and it goes like this: past behavior equals future behavior, and that's just the way the world works. And so, if you go into someone's house and it's not very tidy, the rest of their life looks like that or worse.
Disorder.
Right? It's in disorder and chaos. And so when I see a thing, I get to know that it applies to just about every part of it. So now I'm getting to learn really who you are, and so,
Basically, they ain't bringing shit to the table.
well, they might have good sex if you can get them to shower up.
I told you that. We
know
can't
what I
count
mean?
that.
But-
Can't count that.
So, and so how about responsibility? You want a responsible person, right? You want a person that who will do what they say they're going to do. If they're going to show up, they're going to show up. If they're going to help, they're going to come and help. If they're going to give, they're going to give. But people who take care of business.
This would
Right?
be very helpful.
And the people who don't care of business, you easily and very quickly, I'm encouraging everybody, put your arms out and put a roadblock up for those people, right? Because one day, if you know that that's their pattern, they're going to leave you high and dry. If you see that they have a history of doing that, one day it's going to be you. And so you have to, you got to protect yourself from those folks, You may have, and there's kind of a dynamics here I want to just throw in as we're going through this, that everything is going fine and you're dating and you're having a great time and then you have sex and then you keep dating and you get to know these people a little bit more, there's going to come a point to where you're going to have to start to say, hey, that's for me and that's not for me.
Sure.
Right? And there's going to be a point where you're going to decide, and I think it's very important to make a clear, conscious decision that you're going to fall back or that you're okay with what you see. You're okay with who you are. And it's not judging people, right? Because they may not have had the same background, the same raising. You may could show them one or two things, and next thing you know, every time you go in their house, that thing that you showed them is done. Right? So now they're open. They're open for change. Right? They may not have done it the way that you wanted it done, especially when a woman goes into a man's house. It may not be as clean as you would have it, but you can see he's trying. You can see he cares. You can see that he's trying to stand on a principle, even though it may not be to your standard. Right? And so the point I wanted to make here is, though, even though as we start to see things that we don't like, we're not going to throw people away.
Correct.
We're not going to throw people away. We're going to accept sometimes our differences. We're going to accept sometimes they don't do it the way we would like them to do it. We might even compartmentalize them a little bit, right? I only do it on certain times, or, I can only go there once a month or whatever, whatever that case may be. I may not be giving good examples, but the point here is that we like responsible people in our lives. And part of being responsible is we want people who may have a future. We want people who have goals and who have dreams. We want people who are working on projects, putting, projects in their home. Maybe they're doing some home improvement projects. Maybe they trying to start a business. Maybe they are trying to get that next promotion. Maybe they are passionate about getting more education and getting their degree, or going back and getting that whatever that happens to be. But we want people who are going somewhere. I think it was Brittany a couple of weeks ago said it simply, that I got to be able to see something.
Right.
I got to be able to see that this can go somewhere.
I agree.
Right? And again, it's not necessarily just about having a relationship. It's just about people who you want in your life. Right?
I agree.
You don't want no half-assed person walking around in your life. And you don't want no person who breaks rules. You do not want a rule breaker in your life. And I don't know what that means to some of you, but let me tell you, when people think that they can off the cuff disrespect or take advantage or get over on you or any of that kind of stuff, you gotta call it.
Okay, well, you about to call me because you asked me. We ain't never asked you. What'd you bring to the table?
What I bring to the table?
What'd you bring to the table?
Listen, I'm a real lighthearted, loving kind of guy, right? And if we never had a relationship,
right.
And if we never had relations,
not at all.
I'm going to attempt with every fiber of my being to be someone that you will recall as a good person.
Okay, keep going.
You see what I mean? And so you're not even going to have no problems with me. The only real problem you're ever going to have is maybe trying to push on me one direction or another, mash on me, or take me off my path. But for the most part, we're going to be loving friends no matter what happens, right? I can't look over my shoulder in my entire life and see very many people who I still do not have a wonderful relationship with. I may not have talked to them, but I never had beef. I never had bad blood. I don't have troubles in my relationship. All my relationships flow. And they flow because I believe I have been taught properly how to treat people. And so you're not coming into, any bag of can of worms over here. You know what I mean? This is the real deal.
You don't carry baggage. You ain't got problems.
I mean,
baby mama drama, none of that. So
yeah,
give them what you bring, because you're a cool, laid-back person that don't got the drama part.
Yeah, I don't got no drama. I mean,
and these women that's listening now, they want to know what all else you bring.
Yeah, and I'm a real modest guy, so it's a little challenging for me to even express this properly, I think. But
don't worry, I'll help you.
Giving graces to the Father.
Always.
My life is in order, man.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
So
I'm not stressed. I'm not stressed, struggled, in pain, duration. I'm healthy. I live a happy life. I'm positive. I'm always productive in my life.
Okay.
And, I'm not looking over my shoulder at anything. I'm not running from my past. I got a couple of vices that, may play some part in my life, but I try to keep them away from people and, keep them out of harm's way. But, I just try to be loving and friendly, man. I don't have a baggage. I don't have a lot of bags here.
So, if I had to sum it up, you structure. Bring structure.
I bring structure
to the table.
I bring structure to the table.
Structure and order.
Yeah, I do for my life, but I don't necessarily try to imply that on other people's lives.
No, I like that because that's where I'm going next.
Right.
So, what do you? We got to go to break already.
Okay, I'm getting the raw.
I'm coming back to this.
I'm getting the raw interview right here.
Oh yeah, because we coming back.
Jay
So y'all want to know the second part of this? Y'all might want to stay tuned.
Y'all stay tuned. We're gonna be right back.
All day.
With more Bar Talk with Jay.
Right after this. I like it because a lot of times you have a hard time saying no.
Yeah.
And it's really necessary.
It's definitely necessary.
You don't want to hurt a person's feelings, but you don't feel what they're saying, and you're trying to find nice ways to do it. And I think you broke the ice because I've been to a point where I'm very comfortable just saying it. I'm not waiting on anything. I have to make sometimes rash, quick decisions. When by past experience, I'm starting to realize I can make good decisions off of getting out of feelings, go with facts.
Yes.
You out there partying, you doing crazy things, and oh man, it'd be nice if you could hook me up and give me this. When I know I work hard for mine, you out there just squandering yours. I'm gonna have a hard time saying yes to you. I'm just gonna be honest. I'm not gonna be able to do it. I don't really care how you want to judge me at this point. I know what my walk is about. Your walk is reckless. I've been on that path. I'm not going to put good money with bad thoughts. You ain't trying to add no value to anything that you trying to do. You ain't trying to invest. You ain't trying to grow. You just trying to party. I don't feel like I need to invest in your party.
Yes.
And if you can't add up your coins and make sure you have fun on your own, you shouldn't be asking somebody else.
Yes.
So I love it because, again, it's a necessary process.
It is a necessary process, and no is not something that we only have to say to other people, but sometimes we need to say no to certain foods.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes we need to say no to going out to party rather than sitting at home and finishing that project that you need to finish. Spending that money on something better than blowing it on X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that here's kind of how I explain it universally, is that we are bombarded by requests from the universe.
Mm-hmm.
Overwhelming number of requests. Do this, do that, look this way, look that way, say this, say that, act like this, act like that.
Right.
And ultimately you have to push all of that crap away and just become who you are.
Gotcha.
And you may not look like any of the examples that you have in the world.
Oh, okay.
You ultimately may take a completely different path than the people you grew up with next door. You'll take a completely different path than the guy you've been working with for the last 10 years, right? That is saying no. And that is saying no in a universal way where I'm not going to be like them. I'm going to go ahead and start spending 10, 15 hours a week after hours so that I can build this business. I'm not going to go out and shoot basketball with them anymore and go play, this and go to the party and this and that. I'm going to stay home on my Saturday nights and get this project plan done so I can get this loan and I can get this business and I can stop working for them and I can start putting my kids through college. So, it's important that we say no, not only to the world, but, the biggest bombardment is people, right? They just have a way of requesting things that you are not aligned with. And if they do, you got to stand up for yourself. And there's a nice way to put it, but sometimes you just got to say no.
No, that is correct.
Right? And, part of that saying no, especially as it relates to tonight's subject, besides sex, what else do you bring to the table? Sometimes it comes down to just straight firing people from your life.
Well, damn.
And I don't mean that in a harsh way.
It sounds like it.
It comes across harsh.
Yes, it does.
That's because all you're hearing is a no.
No, I'm hearing you're fired.
No, you're hearing a no.
Don't bring your butt over here.
All you're hearing is no to that person.
That assignment is over with.
Yeah.
Don't come back.
You need to come out.
You're not wanted.
Right.
You did a poor performance.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
Crap.
And listen,
you know we're about to have some fun going into which you want her to bring to the table. You know that's coming up next, right?
well, yeah.
Okay, I just want to make sure you know what's coming next. Well, go ahead,
I
finish.
know what's coming. And I lost my train of thought. We may have to go on into that.
Well, let's
because
go.
I was talking about it was important what I was going to say that we have to say no to those people and think about it this way that even though you have to say no to that person, you'll never have a lifetime relationship with that person. You may still enjoy sex with that person. Okay, and that still could be a comfort zone for you in one way or another. Maybe she has, you have great sex and she just not over her ex-husband yet, or she not over her ex-relationship yet, and you know it, and so you just kind of hang in there, right? But then there may come a time where you truly have to fire somebody from your life. If you had an arrangement where y'all were going to be, uniquely partnered up, and he broke that rule, you might have to fire him. You might have to fire her, right? Because you don't want to put yourself in harm's way. So firing people is a necessity in life.
I do it all the time on the job.
If you haven't purged your life of some people, I would encourage you to do so. It will take a lot of weight off of things for you.
Yes. It's called ghosting. That's the new thing.
Ghosting is a great way to fire people from your life. Just stay away from them.
All day long.
Just don't talk to them. And sometimes they might not even notice, right?
They'll let you know how much they really care.
Yeah, they may think that you just faded away, but
like, what happened to
ultimately,
them? Because they ain't care.
ultimately you fired them, right?
Oh, no.
And they never followed up to see, hey, I was talking to you every week, now I don't talk to you at all. They didn't even call to check up, right?
No closure.
So that's key. That's key. So back to the subject at hand. You wanted to ask some questions tonight. We're talking about.
Yeah, we back to the good stuff. Let's stir the pot, y'all.
Besides sex, what do you bring to the table? What other questions did you have for
Now,
me, Jay?
with me, you answered yours, and you brought structure, and again, you brought a lot of things to the table. So, what are you looking for her to bring?
What am I looking for her to bring? That's an excellent question, right? See, I have gotten to a place in life where my world is full of successful people. Okay? And so when you live in a world of successful people, you treat people a certain way and certain people treat you a certain way.
Okay.
And it seemed to always be an equally give and take. Right?
That sound good.
Right?
That sound good.
It sounds good.
I'm waiting on. Come on, I want to know what you're gonna want to
I'm
bring to
waiting to
the
hear what you
table.
thinking,
Oh, don't
right?
worry, I'm bringing it out. It's coming.
And so I like equality in relationship. I think that's one of the most important things for me because, Jay, men, we've been done a real bad kind of way over these years. Trying to figure out dating and trying to figure out women and trying to know what's good and what's right, man. We have poured so much valuable time and energy and money down the waterfall. And it has been, there are many men who live their life not even knowing the difference.
Yeah.
Right? And they're really getting taken. She only will call to go out when she wants to have a meal.
It's regular. Yep.
She only will call you when she wants to go to the concert.
When it's convenient to
You really
her.
only hear from her when it's something fun, that she can have a good time with, You don't really hear from her really any other time. Or you don't really hear from him unless he wants sex. Right? You don't really hear from him, when you was trying to convey to him that you needed your grass cut or you needed some help with something in the house, you had a problem with your taxes, or you was trying to find something for your child or whatever. You didn't really get a chance to talk to him about that and convey your situation and get some help because he wasn't around. He didn't answer back to my original thought process.
Mhm.
I like fairness in a relationship, man. You know,
You wanted to bring fairness.
because what fairness is show ultimately is what you were talking about is care,
Oh, all day long.
Right.
Love that.
that if you care about me, you'll begin to see how you should care for me or how you can care for me. And if you start to care for me, I'll see it. I'll notice it, that you did something special for me, that you did something nice in my world, you know. And I'm not necessarily a things and stuff kind of guy, you know. I really like, you know, tasks and undertaking, and you know what I mean. I was thinking about this today as it relates to the subject.
Okay, what
right?
you think about it?
That let's just say, you know, a man likes a woman and he goes out and buys something nice for her, right? Let's just say he spent $100 on her, right?
Okay.
And you know, to him the $100 is nothing, right? It's just $100. But when a man spends $100 or any bucks, $20 on a woman, he is really wanting to make an impression. He is really wanting her to know that he cares, right? And so the man goes out and gets her this gift and gives it to her, right? And that night, the next night, sometime real soon, she serves him up with some great loving and some great hot sex, right? And so he spent $100 and he gonna get a supernatural sexual encounter with this woman, right? The next day she wakes up and you know, she puts her hands on her new gift. You know, it might be some jewelry or something, or it may be some flowers that he gave her. She can see it and touch it and taste it and feel it. But he can't do nothing but remember the sex.
That's all.
Do you see where I'm going, Jay?
Oh no, you know something?
The gift keeps on giving, but the sex is gone.
Crap.
You know what I mean? Like, it just don't seem fair. You know what I mean? The sex, if the gift keep giving, the sex ought to keep giving. If that's what you giving in return, right? If you just, you know what I'm saying, Jay? What if I buy you a share stock? I just bought you a share stock.
I just get a lot of love.
And you made $500 off of one share stock. And every week you eat lunch off of the money you made off the
Me.
stock. I bought you. But you ain't give me sex but one time.
You are real selfish.
That just don't seem fair to me, bruh.
I'ma
So
tell you.
I don't believe equality comes down to sex.
I'm gonna tell you on this.
Let me-
I gotta chime in on
let me
this.
say that.
I'm gonna chime in on you on this one because
Go ahead,
there's
man.
something I did, and it was out of care. I was with a person that was showing me a lot of care, and they was doing a lot of things. While we was dating, I said, you know something, I'm gonna take her on the shopping spree. I'm
Right.
gonna let her get whatever she wants.
Right.
She didn't know what was coming up. I did it, and I promise you, when she went to the register and she seen it all, and she was like, "Red, this is all for me." And I was like, "Yeah." She was like, "Nobody ever did this for me." So when she seen how much it cost, she was like floored. She was just messed up. And what I found genuine is she didn't just cry then, and cried on the way home.
Right.
Then she looked at it, cried again.
Right.
We laying there, and I'm to a point where I'm tired, and I'm just laying down. And I look up, and all she doing is staring at me. And I'm like, what's wrong now?
Right.
And she said, where did you come from?
Right.
Now,
Woo,
when
that's awesome,
you
Jay.
give from the heart, and you understand what somebody else give, you can understand what you look for. So when I was asking you, is one of the things that I always say, what I'm looking for somebody to bring to the table is understanding.
Yes.
Can you take the time to understand me, not just want me? Because if you understand me, then you probably will have me. But I promise you, most people just want me, because of what you might have to bring. Well, my whole thing is coming to the table. If you can get rid of some of your baggage, I can bring a whole lot more.
Yeah.
But you want to carry yours because you think I can carry your weight. And I probably can. But it's not fair to me.
Not fair to me.
So I'm sitting at the table with all your demons, all the things that you did before me. You done got kids, you done did your life, you done lived the wild side, but now you want to give me some celibate bull crap that I'm celibate now and I'm not doing all this when you was freely giving it away way before you met me.
Right.
But then you want me to be understanding and caring for the fact that you was carefree, but you gonna treat me a different way. I mean, wait a minute. Watch how you want to treat me.
That's good. That's
because
good.
I want you to have an understanding of me
Yeah.
before you bring some bull crap to
Yeah.
me because somebody else told you. Because I don't know that sister code.
Yeah.
But brother ain't trying to play all
Listen,
that crap they
I
talk.
had a heart, one of those heart aha moments, a flutter of the heart moment when you just said that, right?
Oh.
Like when you sharing with a person and you really vibing, you know, and you really, you know, you really giving and supporting and helping and love. When two people have that, that's special.
It is.
You know what I mean? That's really, really special. And for her to cry, I mean, you know, you can't fake tears, but maybe one good time. You know, you can't fake it 3 or 4 times. And I tell you, what I sense happening in her was kind of a spirit of awe. Like, wow, somebody really believes in me this much. Wow, somebody really could care for me this much. Wow, somebody's really thoughtful enough of me this much. And, you know, she's seeing the possibility of a real man in you. You know, her whole life may be changed by those moments that you have shared and given to her, and her appreciation of them. She might be like, "Now, this is the kind of man I'm looking for," and it might set her on a tone to find a good man, because before that she may not have known that it was even possible for a man to do such things. You know. And I love doing that, man. I love loving up on people
and
like
before
that.
somebody hit me on the inbox about me doing some same things for them, this is a person that gave up hers for her own. I seen her give up all her pay to make sure her kids was good, and she wasn't looking for nobody to do nothing for her. So please do not inbox me about taking you shopping. Any of you Instagram people that want to be selfish, I am not a self-centered person that's going to aid you and give you something. You got to show me something for me to add value.
There you go.
Same thing I want from you, same thing you'll get from me.
There you go. And we're going to be right back with more Bar Talk with Jay. Right after this. Welcome back.
Ooh,
Man, this has been a good show, man. I'm really loving the kind of stuff we're talking about here, you know?
I like it because everybody wanted to bring it a lot of different dimensions. That's why I left off the sex.
Yeah.
Let's leave that off, and then we can start seeing what we can really bring, and that's why I threw out understanding. Because again, it's not all about the material things that you can come up with. Now a lot of people say you ain't got nothing, so don't come with nothing. Well, my whole thing is I have a lot. I don't want to come with anything because I want to get my stuff straight first. I stated that earlier. Because everybody's not going to view themselves like that. They'll be like, yo, man, you got a business. You got this. You can name, somebody else outside looking at me can name a lot of things I can bring to the table. My whole thing is I know these things. But the things that will contaminate that table and tear it down, even if it's mine or yours, is my thoughts when they're not pure. When I'm contaminated and I know I got some ill thoughts on relationships and I need time to get it right, and then I just jump in it, I am a person that can tear down is just as easy as I can build up. So I'd rather take the time, get right. And that way I can add value to a table that's already there, or I bring my own. I'm like, Jeffrey, I got a long one. But before I replace yours and make you feel like mine is so much bigger and better, I can add value to what you already have. I can make that little table into the same table I have. Yeah. But I gotta have a reason to.
Yeah, you know what? Music Soul Child has this song, I think it's called Serendipity, and it basically says, I'm already good, but having you in my life will make it better.
There you go.
You know? And so as Jay has continued to express his his unwillingness to be available, he's basically suggesting that, hey, you know, all I really can bring to the table is some hot sex and a great friend. right?
I feel like
And-
sometimes I just leave out the second period. Now, maybe I need to sit my ass right over here. I need to be at your table, period.
Yeah. And well, listen, you can never push away companionship. Right?
Yeah.
Like friendship, companionship, those are things that are necessary with or without sex.
I would agree.
Yeah,
So,
and-
some
and-
companionship without,
Most-
as long as understood.
Yeah, most companionship that we will have in our lives are going to be absent of sex, right? We're not going to have sex with that person, but there's something comforting about talking to them or knowing them or maybe hanging out with them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Some people, Jay, you know what I'm saying?
I'm not saying.
Right?
Ain't nothing wrong with it.
Ain't nothing wrong with it. So there are, I guess the open-ended question would be, would you find yourself hanging out with somebody who brings nothing to the table but great sex? And, that's one extreme. And then the other side is, after sex, are you bringing some things to the table? Can I see that there's hope here? There's a future. There may be something here. As Brittany would say, there may be something here to work with. I can see that there's something here to work with. It ain't perfect. It ain't this, that, and the other, but I can see there's something to work with. And that sometimes is what you need to work toward building a loving relationship with another person. We have to always come back to our core value is that a loving relationship with another person is a wonderful thing. It may not be the end all be all to your life or your lifestyle or what you desire, but having that ride or die in your corner has been the chief structure that has led us into where we are today. Mm-hmm. And I think we need that companionship. There's probably, the men who, built the Empire State Building the first time, they needed some loving. You know what I'm saying? They didn't need to be up there all trembling, you know what I'm saying? With all nervous. They needed some loving and some the presidents who took care of our world, they needed some loving. You know what I mean? They needed it. It was a mandate, Okay. And so there comes a time where you're going to need some of that. And I'm just, I want you to get it. But it's not going to be the end all, be all, right? No. One of my favorite things that has come out of this show in closing, we've got about 7 minutes here before we close out, were the words that Brother Jeffrey said, right? He said that the woman is the melody and the man is the rhythm. And when melody and rhythm comes together, it produces a marvelous harmony. It produces real love, what he called a symphonic orchestra with a perfect pitch. And
I thought he was talking about sex.
He was.
I just want to make sure I got like.
He was.
It's all he was talking about sex.
He was talking about sex, right?
Tell you a drum major.
But he summed that up with when we combine our differences, when we balance, not perfection, but when we balance one another, that is when there is an opportunity to thrive.
Okay.
All right, and balancing one another sometimes can be a cuddy buddy. Balancing one another sometimes be a husband and wife, lifelong relationships. But balancing one another means that if you're going to be in my world and we're going to share anything to include sex, that we gotta combine our differences. We gotta be a yin and a yang, and you might have a dozen yin and yangs around town, and maybe only have sex with one person, right? Yeah. So that connection, that unity, that companionship, that melody, that harmony, that rhythm, that's what I think we're all seeking in the area of relationship. There's always alternative measures, but we're looking for that special thing, And if you're a person who's not ready to get in a relationship, and let's just say a relationship is 10, and right now you're at a 2, you're nowhere near a relationship, there is still someone who you can share that special thing with, right? There is still that magic that if you only go out once a month, you're going to go watch the greatest concerts or shows together. You're going to have an awesome dinner. You might have great sex that night. You're going to wake up and have a great breakfast the next morning. You're going to laugh all night, but you got that piece of nurturing that you needed. And you might only need it for a moment a month. Sometimes you need it every single day. But wherever you need it, you're going to need the harmony. We all need the harmony. And there are a lot of people who are experiencing harmony only in sex. That is not the most effective way to live your life.
Nope.
Right? But there comes a time for all of us where we need that harmony.
Mm-hmm.
We need that sexual harmony. But after the sex, it is people that's going to make the world go round. Things and stuff will come and go. Places and spaces will come and go. But it's people that make the world go round. And so after sex, we are hoping that what is left on the table is a real person. A real person with a real life who's doing something, who can help me, who can help themselves, who I can help, and they can help. We want something that is extremely cohesive. And I oftentimes, express the ideals of perfection. And that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to, but these ideals sound lofty. If you think about how the average relationship is falling out.
Well, they fall apart like
These ideals sound lofty, but I truly believe that love can exist for us.
Mm-hmm.
That we can experience love. And love might not happen on the level that the world calls love. Right? You may be in love with a person who's only a 30%er. They only see you 2 or 3 times a month. You got a distance relationships, you talk every night, but you only see each other. You don't have sex once a month, every couple of months, whenever you see each other. And you can love that person and you can have a care. What's after sex? You can have somebody that you can wake up and call and talk to or text good morning to. Somebody who's thinking about you. Somebody who's going to ask how your projects are going. Somebody who's going to be in your corner when when times get rough. You lose a loved one or you lost your job and you need somebody to stand in your corner. That's what we are all looking for, that thing after sex, right? The sex is something that'll come and go. It's here or there. It might work, it might not. It's certainly, we determined last week's show that it is not going to fulfill you. It is not going to satisfy you. Within an hour of leaving there, you're going to want some more. So sex is not going to be of value. It is one of those pacification things that we enjoy only for the moment. Only for the moment of the flesh. But when the flesh is no longer, when the two people are divided and the flesh can't touch each other anymore, it seemed like it was all for naught.
Wow. The only thing I can tell you to sum it all up from what you were just saying to me is, again, I had sex with people with no harmony, and it doesn't really mean anything.
It doesn't mean anything.
So if you want meaning, everybody that means something to me, we had conversation.
Right.
We had deep conversation, and it didn't have sex involved. We didn't have to talk about sex.
Right.
So if all you have is a conversation, and that's all you can talk about is sex, then you ain't on a level that I can probably help you with. But if I promise you, if you want to stimulate a person, can you talk to a person non-relating to sex, and they think of sex when you're talking regular? Right. I can talk about food. They thinking about the food in a sexual way, but I'm not mentioning it. You have to make a person look at you in a way that you automatically see them, and it ain't even about sex.
Right.
Our biggest problem is, we automatically go to what we like. Okay? My whole thing is I stimulate and I care for what I don't even know.
Yeah.
I don't know what all you can do, but I care enough to know I need to know you.
Yeah.
Because if I don't know you, you won't move to me.
Right.
The best sex you can ever have is when a person moves to you.
They
can't do it if they don't know you.
Listen.
You keep thinking your shaft and her dipstick and all this is going to make
that ain't it.
It's us mentally vibing the conversation you had before me. The things that you said to me that it wasn't sexual, but it made me feel sexual. It made me want you. Changes the whole dynamics of the sex that she gonna give you.
Watch this. That's supernatural powerful. Listen, if you the first time you a bedroom bully. You know what I'm saying? The first time is rough, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy, it's wild, it's all that, right? But the more that you start to care for one another, it becomes more passionate and it becomes more good, more gushy, you know? The cookie gets gushy, right?
If it's dry, you didn't apply. I'm telling you, if you listen to what we said,
That's good.
it shouldn't be you.
If it's dry,
you didn't apply. So let's look at what you do.
Yeah, we're going to close out the show with that. Man, listen, this has been one fabulous conversation. Tonight's subject is, besides sex, what do you bring to the table? We're hoping that on the other side of sex, there is a real person there.
Yes.
A real person who can bring life, love, health, healing, and value to our lives. And we want to thank you folks for being with us tonight. I'm really, really fired up about this show. It's been great stuff. We are here every Thursday, 7 to 9, Facebook Live. And we hope that you will like us, share, subscribe, like, share, subscribe, like, share, subscribe, send it to your friends and family. We do this for you and hoping that it'll open some doorways in your mind and in your spirit for you to become your greatest possibility. And so my name is Craftmatic. This is my boy Smooth J.
Yes.
We are Bar Talk with Jay. And with that, folks, we are out.
Ain't no last calls here.
Bar Talk with Jay.